a week to 2 week period, where before for a journal you had to wait forever. Journals are a different matter because, as people will say, journals are no longer, what are they? They used to be assemblages of articles. Well, if you can do a continuous journal, you could have an article up anytime. So then where does a volume begin or end and all the rest of it? So the deconstruction of the journal in digital space is really intriguing. And journals are different, I would argue, from monographs again.
Further to what you were saying, Maureen posted the standards and format and style guides remain the same. And Rory asked, how do you see open access books developing in relation to ebooks like the Kindle?
Well, having a Kindle, first of all, Kindles are not available in Canada yet. And you have to go through all sorts of hoops to some of them legal and some of them quite not, to actually get it to work and to download. Now, assuming that the Kindle would work, will the Kindle be used? I could actually see, for example, the Kindle having, or something like a Kindle, having a major impact on post-secondary, especially if the Kindle became a little more dynamic. I could actually see you loading up a Kindle with all the course materials that a student here would need. So you'd have, every student would get a Kindle, and they could then download the materials they needed. It would change our entire operation, how we did our warehousing and all of that. So I believe Kindles or Kindle-like devices are the wave of the future. If we can get our telecom industry to behave. My biggest concern with a lot of, we're open access, we believe in open source, we believe in as an open university, but in the end, how far are the people who wring revenues out of this prepared to go? And I don't ever want us to be held ransom by a large telecom or some monopoly that can scuttle the good work we're doing, and we have to be ever vigilant, ever vigilant.
Great, thank you for that. The mic is open if you'd like to pose a question or a comment. And Frank just wrote, new e-textbooks do more than inform, they'll even grade you. Okay, well that's interesting.
Textbook thing, the textbook issue to me is hugely interesting because you have to start with, what do universities do, that question. You have to look at the value chain within the post-secondary, and you think of the value chain and from registry to creating the course, teaching the course, advising on the course, doing the grading, to the giving the credential. Well, you go to Pearson's, my favorite company, which is not a publishing company, it's now a learning company. Pearson's Learning is a fully integrated learning company that actually gets the information, pays academics at institutions for writing books, I would argue, on the cheap. Then they actually turn them into very dynamic, what I call learning objects. They then will offer 24/7 tutorial support at low cost. Then the only thing that they weren't doing for a while was offering credentials, but I understand that they may have sorted that problem out as well. You invest in some post-secondaries that have credentialing. So I think publishers the traditional publishers have way more resources than post-secondaries do to invest. Putting $1 million in a textbook, for example, is not considered an over-investment in some of the big ones. So what open access publishers like ours have to do, we're still in many ways what I call a boutique publisher, a craft digital publisher, whereas if you deal with the Pearsons and the Thompsons, you're dealing with organizations that can totally disaggregate and reaggregate the value chains and think about things in a radically different way, which I'm not sure that I think we should be doing it, but I don't think we've got the nerve to do it, and I think we should have the nerve to do it. But that's something we work and struggle at within the Academy.
Okay, well, I thought I'd take this moment to offer, to just put up the AU Press website as a web tour here for everybody to take a look at. And Fritz, if you want to speak to that, just let me know what pages you want to show.
Okay. Now, it would be interesting to go to one of the books. Let's say one that I've looked at is the, for example, Jack Brink's volume on Head Smashed In, because it actually has the interviews with it, and you can look at the details of how you might download. You can download it all. You can download it by chapter. You know, there's many things you can do with those. The thing that I'm proudest of is that we also do the podcasts with them, and the podcasts are also edited. And I believe anything that you put up should be the very best that can be, and you should carefully reflect and edit the materials. I mean, if you edit a book, why wouldn't you edit a podcast, you know? Why, if you want to design a book that looks its finest, or a website that looks its finest, why wouldn't you design your media the same way? So I don't know, Tony, if you can find Head Smashed In, would be under probably under books. And if you scroll down, scroll down the list, you'll find the Head Smashed In book at the bottom somewhere. Who's controlling this? You're not. Lynn, if you scroll down to Head Smashed In on that page, or under browse books by author, just type in Brink under author, and you'll get the Head Smashed In one. Go back to author. There, you got it. Fantastic. And then where are the can you click to open the book up, just so we can see what it looks like? Without having the website in front of me, it's very difficult to do. It's funny. Can you pull that screen?
Sorry, I just grabbed the mic because I'm not sure exactly what to click on here. Sorry to open up the book. Could you give me very specific instructions? I've clicked on ebook, and as you can see, it just has all the chapters there that can be downloaded individually, or the entire book. Is that what you wanted the participants to see? Sorry, Dr. Panicook, I'm not hearing you at all.
Okay, if you, at the bottom of that list, it said, the first button was for the ebook, the second button was for the podcast, if my memory serves me correctly, on that Jack Brink book. You see what that book, because it's one of the oldest ones, will show you, is that we do letters, to the author. We will put reviews on. We will, at the bottom, you can get the whole book, Click on the